media at, because we are everywhere. And what we do really is we help you rebuild that crusty, dusty, old foundation that some of you are walking around here with right now. You know, when you walk into a party and you walk in and you got on, the busted tennis shoes, or the dress that doesn't match or doesn't fit well. Some of you guys are walking around your business like that, but acting like you got $1 million. And this is where we want to really be able to showcase to you some newer ideas, some newer strategies, some newer techniques, and not be utilizing the old crusty dusty what your mama shared with you, your daddy, your uncle, your broke brother-in-law that was voting on American Idol. We want to be able to show you what is working now, because what got us here won't get us there. And we share facts. We don't talk about feelings. We don't talk about opinions. We literally get down to the facts. And this is where we have to be able to re-strategize and retool and really relearn some of the things that we've been taught. And this, my friends, is where I share with people that the biggest enemy of success, okay, is three things. It's the comfort zone. Of a lot of us don't like to change. A lot of us find reasons not to change. The second one is that we self-sabotage ourselves on saying we can't change, right? We decide to come up with every reason and every excuse why we won't change. Well, that's not the way I was taught. Well, I'm not good at technology. I'm not this. We sell ourselves. If you guys remember the Ghetto Boys, the mind playing tricks on you, right? A lot of us do that. And then a lot of us, the third option is we pick the easiest path to resistance. We will do anything and everything to be lazy about it and not to do what needs to be done. And so this is really where today's conversation, that we ask you to stop scrolling and start selling, right? Social media strategies that convert. We're going to first need you to be honest with yourself and stop lying to yourself about which one of these you are, because times are changing, things are changing. The question is, are you changing? And this is really where we have to look ourselves in the mirror and be like, hey, it's 2024. We are now in full heavily Q2, about to hit Q3. I haven't changed a doorknob on my business since before the pandemic. After the pandemic, we're now 3 years after the pandemic, and yet I'm running around here telling people I got a business, and I ain't changed nothing with my business. And guess what? You wouldn't be alone. And this is where you today get to be upfront and honest with yourself and say, hey, I got a business, or do I have a hustle? Because businesses right now are making this pivot, implementing AI, implementing this metaverse, implementing blockchain, implementing all these new technologies that is going to take for us to retool everything and start from the beginning. And that is really where we're having that conversation today, of breaking down, understanding how important your social media is to your business before we can even start talking about strategies. And the one thing and the one question that we get asked all the time is, followers. David, followers. I got this, I got that. Followers don't equal dollars. I had a lady the other day said, David, I got 10,000 followers here and I got 20,000 people that subscribe to my newsletter. I should be able to sell 30,000 of my books off the ripper. And I said, let me know if that happens.
Newsflash.
I said, that ain't going to happen, because let's go to those newsletters and how many people are liking those. She said, oh, David, maybe about 10. I said, well, there goes your 10 books. I said, and on your post, how many people are liking and commenting on your post? Oh, I get an average about maybe 10, 12. I said, well, you got 20 books sold for sure, not the 30,000 that you was talking about. And this is where we share with you all that you have to build your brand before you build your business or sell. And a lot of the times we are selling before we build our brand, and we're wondering why we aren't excelling, because you aren't doing anything, right? And not to mention, when we talk about social media, the number one cardinal rule that is out there, you got to give before you get. A lot of you are not even liking. A lot of you are not even commenting. A lot of you are not even showcasing other people and what they do, let alone you. And you wonder why you're not getting anything. Well, this morning or today is right now about 4 o'clock on 4:30 East Coast. How many people's posts have you liked? Real talk. We're having we're doing a man in the mirror conversation today, baby. This is Michael Jackson, bald head and white girl style today with the Hello LLC. Of course,
Wait, what?
it's man in the mirror, right? Where, hey, you know what? I damn sure haven't liked anybody's post today. I dang sure haven't commented on anybody's post today. And then let alone, and I know as entrepreneurs, this summer is the family reunion, and you're gonna go to that family reunion, and somebody gonna say, "Oh, I like your little social media," and your first question is gonna be, "Well, why aren't you liking my stuff? Why aren't you commenting on my stuff? Hell, how about you share it?" And guess what? You are that person, because are you doing what you expect? And this is where we got to be upfront and honest. And guess what? Your ass is already hitting the button on the screen, which blows me away. It is crazy that, we talk about collaboration. Collaboration seems to be the biggest, newest word that people want to use. But when it comes down to just liking and commenting, where's the collaboration on that? Right? Hello. And so this is where we got to start from the jump. And look, I love doing this trend because I know there is somebody that is saying, "Well, David, I ain't got no damn time." You what? You ain't got what? You ain't got time. Let's debunk that right now. So those of you that are iPhone holders, if you would please go to your settings. Tara doesn't much like this one.
No, because David always been getting me on this one.
Tell him.
I have a tendency to scroll, and so when David talks about this, he is talking to me as well. And so what I say about this is, at the end of the day, is I've gotten really good about giving lots of love. I made a personal choice that, okay, I might not, be the person out here posting all the time, but I am definitely enjoying other people's content. And so I will network with them through liking, sharing, reposting, commenting, and following. Because what it does for me is it piques my interest when people do it to me. And so I have, through this exercise Mr. Jones is about to share with y'all, have identified how, I can utilize that same time for a benefit instead of just getting stuck scrolling.
So, you mean instead of being a consumer, you can actually be a creator?
Well, you can be a creator, a supporter.
There you go.
And a creator.
There you go.
Support is the biggest portion of that equation.
Period.
Because
right?
Everybody wants support, but we have to, like you said, are we giving?
You gotta give it. You gotta give it. If you woke up this morning like we all do, shit, I won't lie, I do. When I wake up in the morning and I finally get to my phone, right, while I'm on the toilet, y'all go to the toilet too. And so, I get to go to my phone and I go and I get those endorphins when I see that LinkedIn, when I see the LinkedIn, LinkedIn, I said it twice.
Yeah.
When I see Instagram and Facebook and I see those numbers listed on, I'm like, ooh, who liked my stuff? We all get that. I'm gonna say it if you're not gonna say it. And so this is where, when you go open it up and you don't have that many in the morning, this is where you got to ask yourself, hey, where am I? So back to where I was going.
Yeah, Tara.
Right? Tara, is that I want you guys to go to your settings in your iPhone. Okay? Go to your settings. If you don't know, scroll down, type in settings, and on your iPhone, you're going to get this nice little screen that says settings, where you got your name at the top. You see airplane mode. You see Wi-Fi. You see a Bluetooth, cellular. Keep on coming down past notifications, past sounds, past focus. And right below focus, there's this big button that says screen time. Hit that button, my friends. When you hit that button, your excuses are about to be obliterated. Okay, they're gone out the door. I ain't got time. No, they're done. Okay, so right now it's going to tell you your daily average of how much time you have spent utilizing your phone. 90% of you are utilizing your phone for business, so ain't no excuses. Well, David, I don't use my phone. I use my laptop. Bullshit. Here we go. Okay. You will see right below your little chart where it says the daily average time. You will see where it says see all apps and website activity. And when you click on that, my friends, you open up this thing called the Pandora box.
Uh-oh.
And so if today you have not posted about your business, you have not posted not one single thing about your business, but at the very top where it says most used and it says TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Messenger, Zoom, see how much time you spending. If it got over 30 minutes, I'm here to tell you, you're in trouble. Okay. Some of you might got 3-4 hours, 5 hours on there on some of these social medias, maybe just one, maybe all. But that, my friend, goes to share with you, looking in the mirror, as we talked about how you can be utilizing your time. Are you a creator or are you a consumer? And this, my friends, is where we have to start utilizing our time more effectively and being able to post about our business. And so that, my friends, is our first lesson of the day. So you can overcome that I can't, I don't, right? Now we've gotten to the I know. Oh my God, David and Tara have pointed out this huge little thing that I've been hiding away from and I didn't know, but it's there now. Here we go. And so, what you got on that, love?
Well, first of all, it's abrasive to people because it's accountability. And so it might not resonate with some of us, because it's like,
oh, it resonated. You just don't want to hear it.
I don't want to know where my time is being spent. And I say that, guys, 100% from this point of view of I've been there. I've been there all day, 6 days times, Lady Drew, put your hand back up. We didn't see you. So, I've been there. I have been there 17 times, a million in the sense of it is not letting me let her up. Anyways, so my point being is that accountability factor. A lot of times people don't want to be, accountability factor. And they don't want to, kind of see the writing on the wall, is what I should say. So, and I speak from that only from my own point, my own perspective, my own experience was because, I used to run with the story that I never had time. And I still catch myself running with that story in my head. I'll tell myself, oh, I don't have time. And I'm like, oh, no, you have time. What are you choosing to do with your time? And I remember, so again, most of you have followed us for a long time, 22 plus years in corporate America, and then starting our business 8 years ago. When we started that, I used to run with that excuse all the time. That's all it is. It's an excuse. And in reality, when I would say I didn't have time, it was Tara had poor time management skills was a better way to say that, instead of making it as a victim kind of mode as I was making it. Not saying that anybody else who says I don't have time is that, running in that same realm. But the point being is, are you being accountable? It's kind of like, for instance, how many of us have, needed to watch what we were eating? What I don't like to use the word diet, but the fact of, what we were consuming, whether we needed to do that because we were trying to meet a goal of losing or gaining weight. We were trying to do it for health reasons, whatever reason behind it. How many of you have experienced going through I shouldn't really be eating this? Well, what happens is throughout the day, we will be, snacking, eating, having meals, drinking things. And we're not really fully aware when we sit down at the end of the day to recap on, okay, what did I have? Now, if you stop and take a diary and you write down exactly what you drank and ate all day long, at the moment it touched your lips and went in your mouth, and then you read over that at the end of the day, you have a better understanding because of the accountability factor of putting it on paper. And so what David showed you in the simple fact of where are you using your time on your settings, it really, for me, guys, over the past 8 years has, I have fully identified I have time. How am I using my time? And because I've switched that thinking, it actually has moved us forward into the conversation of, valuing your time and what you're doing, which is why we're doing this room today about, social media, about, stop being a fully, consumer, and start understanding how you can create content smartly, where you're working smarter, not harder. That is the point. We live in the world of AI right now. So why are we not utilizing tools at our fingertips to be able to assist us in this manner, instead of working where, like David, David used to spend 56 hours a week, just literally, posting to social media. Have present tense, not past tense, over 4 to 6 accounts, depending on what platform we're on. We have, our Hello LLC, we have our personal accounts, we have our Hello Wellness, we have our Hello Solar, we have our Hello Electrical, we have all of these different accounts that are a part of umbrellas to our business that at the end of the day have to be managed and maintained. And so David used to spend, guys, if we would go on vacation, he was, or anywhere, if we went to dinner, if we went to, his parents' house for the day when we lived back in Houston, if we did anything that was outside of, being at the house working, David was constantly on his phone, posting. And I remember multiple times we would go up to Idaho to visit my family, and my mom would be like, "Is David working?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's posting." And she's like, "Oh, does he ever take a break?" And I'm like, "Yeah, not really," because the amount of time it takes to post to one platform and then copy, paste, reutilize it somewhere else, and then reutilize it somewhere else. And if you've got just one business account or one, brand account, and you're posting over Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn Shorts, or LinkedIn posts now that they have. I'm not posts. I'm sorry, YouTube Shorts or YouTube posts. LinkedIn. You can have your, Twitter account, aka X. You can have all of these different posting. I mean, that's 6 to 7 account platforms right there. And so, how many of you are tired of having to post that on a daily basis, and it literally eating up all your time? Or guess what? You're not doing it because you don't have the time to do it. Or you're looking at paying someone to do it for you, and you can't find a decent understanding of what should be charged, how much someone should be charging you, how much content they should be, creating for you. Guys, we've had so many people come to us in talking and conversation, and they will share with us, many of them trying to be able to get ahead of that social media curve and not really understanding it. So they go out to hire someone and just getting bamboozled, taken for, everything they've gotten, or losing their social media accounts because people hijack them. It's a real world out here in social media. Like, it's like the streets, the social media streets. So today, I'm excited. David's going to share a lot of information, not only facts and figures, but how to utilize your time more effectively.
Yeah.
Jones?
And look,
how to monetize through that.
Yes.
Because followers don't equal dollars, so you need to be strategic. Okay, back to you.
Yeah, and look, those of you that have joined us live today from our Clubhouse, from our LinkedIn, from our YouTube, from our Instagram, to our Spaces, to our Twitch, which we're live on all of those channels, which we're not just out here talking, we're on multiple different channels. So you guys definitely come and ask us questions, put it in the chat. If you have anything, I definitely would love to hear any of you guys' ideas. And if you have questions, this is a great place to ask. Please understand that with the Hello LLC, it literally is about helping everyone live life optimally. If you didn't put together Hello, and it's really about truly helping entrepreneurs leverage leading Web3 applications and helping you build your foundation. And you're not talking to people that have a part-time job and this is just a side hustle. No, this is our bread and butter. This is what we do every single day as our business, helping out other businesses make this pivot and transition. So this isn't just a hobby for us. This is what we do. And what we do is what we say that we've already done, or that we've been doing, or things that we're implementing now. And so we're here to help you through the landmines, and more importantly, guide you so you don't have to make the same mistakes we did over the course of our 8 years of running our business, especially on social media. And a lot of you have to understand is that right now, it is the best time to be alive and to start your own business. And I share this with you all because we can talk about social media, all these things until we're blue in the face. But we have to understand things are changing, times are changing, and that this artificial intelligence, this AI, is just the beginning. Those of you that do have a 9 to 5 job, your company right now is looking at ways that they can replace your ass with a robot. Okay. You think ChatGPT is awesome? Just imagine them putting ChatGPT into a robot that does exactly what you do and 10 times better, that's cheaper, reliable, and faster. If you were a business, what would you do? And so this why now is that we all have to change our story. We all have to be able to create a story that we all have and be able to monetize it. And social media is definitely a way to do it. If these 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds can do it, why can't you do it? Just the other day, there was a lady that's 103 years old. She's still running her business, utilizing social media. And so I want to ask you guys all, first of all, do not be afraid. Do not worry about what your friends say, your mama say, your brother say, your uncle say. Forget about them. For the first 3 years, we worried about what everybody else would say, and it set us apart. It set us back so much because we were basing our social media posts on what my mama would say, what my sister would say, what all these people would think. But then guess what? They weren't supporting, they weren't buying, they weren't doing nothing. And there's more people that don't know about your business that do know about your business. So number one, I would encourage you guys all, separate your personal from your business. Create a business page. Create a business Instagram. Listen, Linda, listen. Create a TikTok business page. Create all of your social media platforms separate from your business so that way you can get out of that trap, that mindset trap. And you can post 4, 5, 10 times a day because on average, if you guys don't know this, you're all seeing at least 5,000 commercials, advertisements a day. My question to you, why isn't one of your businesses one of those? Your business should have one of those slots of all your community or people that look through your social media, right? And so that's number one that I would encourage you guys all to do. And if you need help with that, we have this amazing Pivot membership that you can join for $7 a month out the gate that shows you all the tips and tricks of how to do that. That's $7, period, right? And so I want you all to be able to understand that we also have to be able to understand our target audience. Okay. When me and Tara first started our business, oh my goodness, it was spraying and praying. We was hoping and wishing, right? That anybody and everybody would tag along to what we had to say. And this is where you all have to be able to understand what social platform you actually should be on. I know a lot of people that sell children's books, but are on LinkedIn thinking that they're about to be the international bestseller on LinkedIn, and ain't no kids on LinkedIn. You got to be able to take yourself elsewhere. So understand your target audience. Who is your ideal customer? Let me help you out. It's who you used to be. Boom. Okay. Where do you find your ideal customer? Where do they spend their time? What are they doing? What content do they watch? Right? What are their pain points? Is huge. A lot of the times we have to focus on what people are staying up late at night. Those are great social media posts that you should be implementing, right? What language? Some of you have something that you do that is predominantly overseas, that might be in Asia or India or Thailand or wherever. You need to change your content to that language. We have AI for that. Not to mention, why would you not have your content in all different languages? Okay. Eric Thomas does huge amount of business over in Australia. Tick, tick, hello, right? And so other things that we can utilize is analytics. A lot of us are not even looking at our own analytics for our own social media posts. TikTok has a great tool to help you with your analytics. Instagram has a great tool with our analytics, and we're not even much utilizing the information that's given to us to help us because we're relying on our feelings and our opinions and what we think works best, which a lot of people think that LinkedIn is their go-to when they should definitely be on TikTok. They should be utilizing Facebook. They should be on Twitch. They should be on Spaces. And there's tools that you can implement to save yourself time so you don't have to do that, right? And so even digging deeper into these different social media platforms to help you guys out. TikTok has 1 billion daily users, okay? The average is 60% men, 40% women. I think that's changed. Instagram, check this out. This is huge. This blew my mind. Instagram only has 500 million people, daily users. The total that they have on that platform is 2 billion. LinkedIn now has 1 billion, right? And the total users is over 1 billion. And the ratio between that is 60% men, 40% women. Pinterest, a lot of you that have courses or, webinars, or, you might have apparel or something of that sort, you should definitely have a Pinterest account, okay? And then YouTube. YouTube is huge, especially as you guys hear us talk about this metaverse, this Web3. YouTube is definitely interchangeable in all these worlds that we utilize. So some of you have a lot of information on Zoom, you have it on recording. You need to be taking that content and dropping it into YouTube and start building your YouTube channel and getting that up and running. YouTube used to be the #1 SEO. Now TikTok is fighting for that spot. And not only that, a lot of us are concentrated on SEO. And Tara shares this amazing information about SEO, information about how it's going away. And if you could share that with them, love, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was reading an article the other day that was talking about how Google and other search engines are moving away from the traditional search engine optimization, aka SEO. How, for anybody that doesn't know how that operated, it was essentially keywords that were within your website or your content that you had linked to your website, and those keywords was what the search engines would search, as well as some other technical things like backdoor links and whatnot that needed to be implemented. But that was the traditional way, and now they're actually doing it. They're going to start moving towards algorithms that social media platforms utilize, and it's going to be more curated towards what your preferences are. And so it is another level of this. This is why it's so important to understand the algorithms and understanding social media, but to know that traditional SEO is going to make way for AI to be doing that work. And so stay tuned for more on coming out about how that will operate in the future. So
yeah. And so with that being said, does anybody want to come up and ask any questions, put anything in the chat? Lady Drew, do you have anything you want to add on to this before we keep this party rocking and rolling?
Strolling, start selling social media strategies. Well, one thing for social media, media can be in person or even online. Get out there, get the people to know you, because once they get to know you and know what you stand for and why, it helps you to sell your products and services, have more trust in you than they would if they didn't. Also, come up with a slogan for your business, what you stand by. Put it in your office. Let people see it also online. That way they can immediately get to identify you, understand what you stand for, and have more security in purchasing items from you and your services. Anyway, guys, I just really initially wanted to just come up and say hello because I didn't see anyone on here, and I forgot that you have many mediums. So everybody, this is Wonder Woman with a Siamese cat personality. You're all in my prayers to the heavenly spirits. And if you want to connect, please do. And these two, this lady and this gentleman, are fantastic. You can learn so much from them. They're energetic, they're passionate, and they care about what they do and what they're presenting.
Oh,
our kitty cat says thank you as well. So
she did.
And not only that,
Tell your cat I said meow.
we will. And Lady Drew is a prime example of sharing and networking and
Oh,
helping
I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut you off, but I wanted to let you know because everybody knows my children are 2 small dogs and 2 cats, and they are my children. Give yours a hug and kiss from me, okay?
Yes, that indeed. And people that don't have furry animals and don't understand the relationship between that, I get it. I too was one of those people that was like, it's a damn cat, it's a dog. We get out of here. Now having one, and then we lost our dog in October 2 years ago before we
Oh, blessed be.
Yeah, I get that. I get that connection.
Oh, let me interject here too, because so I can get my mouth off of your show. All right, for those who really understand me, my children I live for. Just as you live for your human children, I live for my animal children. Got me, babies. Love you.
Yeah, that for sure. And as
some days I prefer animals to humans. I'm just
some
saying.
days, some days.
I mean that with all love, by the way.
Yeah, sure. I was, as I was sharing, Lady Drew, you know, you are one of those people that definitely shares and likes and comments on our post, and definitely want to give you your kudos.
Maybe the reason I do, I just started, I'm not trying to advertise, I'm just telling you. I just started my project consulting work. I'm semi-retired on disability. I just started 5 weeks ago for project consulting work, and it's because I know it takes an entire village to help us boost each other up and promote each other so we can be more successful, and more people need to do that on LinkedIn, because what I have truly discovered is that the majority on LinkedIn are not doing it. And babies, if you want to be blessed, you best bless others.
Boom!
I mean, we could just end the room right
We
there.
could just end the room right there. You are so spot on, because a lot of these people on these LinkedIn rooms be talking about collaboration and don't be doing nothing because we're too afraid of other people seeing what we love. We're too afraid of other people seeing that we're liking so many posts, and we're just scared. Not to mention, you know what? I could go on a tangent, especially my people on LinkedIn. Please don't send me to subscribe to your newsletter and didn't even follow me or connect with me. That just drives me crazy.
Y'all should understand.
That just drives me crazy when people send for me to sign up for your newsletter, but then you don't want to, you know, connect. And those of you that are on Clubhouse, fan base, everywhere else, look, you got to give love to get it. And, you know, this is something that if you want to get your social media up, start with that. Don't post shit. Don't post a single thing. Just go out to other people's posts and start liking, start commenting, and see what comes back to you. And then I guarantee you'll start putting more stuff out there. And that's what we were talking about earlier. We just got to bring.
Let me interject here on this subject.
Come on.
What I've discovered, people want to send you something so they can get more money, but they're not promoting you. So you know what? Don't have anything to do with them either until they learn that if you want to be blessed more in your business, you bless others and theirs too.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was just thinking about this while you guys were talking about it. The authenticity.
Yeah.
We were talking, we had with Miss Jen Lynn, our podcast last week. We were on her podcast last week, and she was talking about one of the trending factors is authenticity. Authenticity is going to be what will be the glue to new social media relationships. I mean, in the sense that, look, go out to TikTok. You might not be a fan of TikTok, but you will see people will connect to people who are being authentic, who show up, have no makeup on, no filter, like this is what you're getting right now because this is life. And people resonate with that because we just want to know other people are walking the same shoes we're in. And like Lady Drew says, or is sharing, it comes down to how do you want to be treated? It's being authentically smart about, you know, authentic in the smart way of understanding, and smart's not even the right word. Let me backtrack all that comment. It's being authentic in how you want to be treated and understanding that when you treat others the way that you're wanting to be treated, then it comes back. And for those that don't treat you that way, move on. And yes, we've heard that freaking for how long? Since we were in kindergarten. Treat others how you want to be treated. But because we've lived in such a different times, different world, and what I mean by that is where it has been all about capitalistic ways and opportunities of how I can gain and profit off of others, not not caring if I deliver a good product or if I'm authentic in what I do for them in the services or anything of that nature. It has just been all about me, me, me. And we're changing, not going to get into the, the astrology, the astronomy, and all of the other ways of that is happening. But that is what's, you feel it. You ask yourself right now, who are you resonating with? People who are telling you the truth and sharing authentically how it's going, or people who are over here blowing smoke up your skirt saying, this is how you make $10,000 a month in social media and how you market and how you have a drop ship company and how you do this and how you do that. Well, let me tell you, I have seen so many videos come out on people who have quote unquote been successful in drop shipping, just for people to expose them that they're renting and it's a facade and they're showcasing all of this so they can sell you a program and they're eating ramen noodles living in their mom's basement. We have to be more, like David says, check the resources or check the source before you take the resource. Right?
Facts,
Is that how you
baby.
say that? Okay.
Facts.
Bingo.
Miss Nancy, did you want to add something to this conversation? Welcome on up on our LinkedIn side. Welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We got a little
Background.
back. Yeah, we got a little static going on.
Well, I'll get off here, but I'm getting a pedicure.
Ah.
I'm sitting in a massage. All right, I'm going to keep listening.
Okay.
Okay, cool. But as
we appreciate it, Miss Nancy. Thank you.
Definitely. If you want to exit and come back and get rid of that, definitely would love to have you back up there.
Or you can drop your comment in a message to David and I, and we can absolutely read it for sure.
Absolutely. And so, with that being said, look, one of the things that
I wish I was getting a pedicure. All right, I digress.
One of the things we definitely want to help you guys out with your social media, that we talked about this last week. You're not the best at posting. You're not the best at, talking about your business and that and the other. That's perfectly fine. You all should start your own podcast. Okay? You can go out right now on your Apple phone and download an app called Anchor Spotify. It's a free app that you can download. I literally, Miss Marilyn Holloway, one of our Pivot members, I showed her how to do this, and within a day, she got her first podcast up and rolling. We're about to put it on her Biz in a Box, to where people don't have to go and download Spotify or anything of that sort. They literally can listen to her podcast right on her Biz in a Box. And if you guys want an example, go up to our link in our Biz in a Box, the hellollc.io, and you'll see me and Tara's podcast that we have in there, that you can avoid skipping over people going to download Spotify. But the point of it is, having a podcast, ladies and gentlemen, will allow you to have an actual event. You as an entrepreneur, you don't have any events going. What curiosity is your social media going to do you any good at this point? Because for us, prime example, we have our How To Tuesdays today at 4:30 Eastern. We have our Wisdom Wednesday at 4:30 Eastern. And then we have our Hello Pivot in our Metaverse live on Thursdays at 6:30. We have 3 events that we get to talk about that are essentially like our podcast, but Thursday is really our podcast. But we have an event, whether it's audio, whether it's visual. And that's the great thing about this Metaverse, is that, ladies, you don't have to get dressed up, put your makeup on, all this stuff. You get to show up in an avatar in Metaverse that literally has a whole entire showroom for you. You just get to create content. Just as we are in these rooms, it literally allows us to take this flat 2D, old, crusty, dusty, screen that we're utilizing and be able to be in the Metaverse. Those of you that are watching us live right now, you can see this takes it to a completely different level, let alone having a podcast. Check this out. You ready?
Ready.
You get to now talk about, and let me start from this, because I know some people are like, oh my God, David, I'm in real estate. I don't want to start a podcast on real estate. Don't. Please don't. If your ass likes gardening, do a podcast on gardening.
Or quilting.
If you like quilting, do a podcast on quilting.
Or cooking.
Whatever your passion is that you can't shut up about, and your husband, your best friend, your girlfriend, your wife says, oh my God, can you shut up about that? That's what you're asked to do a podcast on. Okay? The reason being, you will never run out of ideas, and it will never get old, and it will never get boring, and you can talk about it till it's blue in the face. Prime example.
Hey, David, here's something else. And Tara,
Yeah.
a lot of people on LinkedIn don't know how to use it, and I'm rather new. Martha from LinkedIn just helped me tremendously. Bless her for that. But they don't know how to utilize it. They don't know how to market themselves on there. So we need to have more podcasts of how to do that so everyone can learn and help lift each other up.
Well, you're in luck. And that is exactly what our pivot membership is about. That's what we talked about last week. I'm about to dive into it again this week because we get that. And that's not just all of you. You guys give me an emoji if that's you, or give me a thumbs up, something, because a lot of people want to do these things. They just don't know how.
It's not intuitive.
It's not. It's just not intuitive, and that's why we have our pivot membership. That's why you guys can come to our weekly rooms where we talk about things like this. Where literally, I know if Miss Marilyn at 57 can start her podcast, and she'll tell you, just like I'll tell you, technology is not her best friend whatsoever. She pressed a couple buttons. Hell, guys, she pressed more buttons. She pressed more buttons than she needs to. And as we share with you guys, press the damn button, because none of you have the codes to a nuclear bomb or anything that's going to mess up anything. This great new invention that you might not have heard about is called the damn delete button. You can delete the shit. Okay. And so go out there, create this podcast. And with this podcast, guess what? You get to now have other guests join you, which guests could be your own clients, for them to come on and talk about what you help them with, whatever it may be. Even if I was a real estate agent and I had a gardening podcast and I had a client of mine that liked gardening. Hey, girl. Hey, guy, I would love for you to be on my podcast. This podcast does not have to be 30, 40, an hour long. I know a lady that has a podcast that just goes for a minute. Okay. You can have your podcast be 2-3 minutes at max if you want that to be that short. You can have guests. You don't have to have guests. And then this is the kicker. If you are a real estate agent, you now get to say, while you're talking about gardening, hey, I'm also a real estate agent. If you would like to get more information, go to X, Y, and Z and get more information. Those of you that are authors, you definitely should have your own podcast where you could talk about your book, different experts of the book, different titles that surround your book. That way you can showcase your book even more. This gives you so many different options for you to be able to implement, your business into your podcast. And guess what? I'm going to give you guys a big tipper on this one.
Tipperoo.
Yeah. Why don't you have an apparel line, number one? All of you that have a business, you should have your own apparel line. There's enough companies out here where you don't have to get your uncle, your nephew, your cousin to be print shirts and all that other stuff. Yeah, I don't want that overhead. There's many things that you guys can do. In our Pivot membership, we explain that. You guys all should have your own apparel line, point blank. And so this is where your podcast can allow you to talk about different topics that you like. You can bring clients on as actual customers. As testimony stories. You can also be able to collaborate with other people that they might have events. And guess what? If you invite someone to your podcast, my friend, they're going to invite their friends. You're going to invite your friends. And then you all are friends, like Biggie says. Not to mention that content from that podcast. Now you get to chop that podcast up as we do, as you got this morning from one of our posts that was from our podcast, that now is your social media content. Hello. So now you get to utilize this podcast as your actual information and all your social media from that podcast. And so this is where we have to think smarter and not harder. And look, you can do one podcast a month, one a week, one every 2 weeks. And I'll even take it one step further. You can do it recording, and then you can drop it into our metaverse, especially if you're one of our Pivot members, and you can have a live podcast showing in our Hello Plaza to where you can tell people, hey, come and watch my live recording of my podcast. And now your podcast has content on top of that where you got live guests coming into the metaverse and their avatar asking you questions about your actual podcast, that boom, you get to record that. And now you got a full automated, showcase, something completely different than the crusty, dusty old podcast where you actually have live guests in there as well. And so this is where a podcast is just one of many ways that you all could be monetizing and building your content up by just one little podcast, period, right? Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to add on to that? Let's go.
No? Okay. Well, I'll jump in.
Go ahead. What you got, love?
I think the most important thing for people to understand is that it's not, and we hear this a lot, it's not intuitive for people. And so, for instance, they listen to us and they'll listen to us, have a room like this where we're on a social audio app and we're on multiple apps at the moment. And where we will stop and showcase and say, hey, this is a great example of why, our business in a box is a great, resource, or getting your metaverse store, in the Hello Plaza is a great resource, or being a part of our Hello Pivot. It is not intuitive for people to self-promote themselves because we have not been taught to do that. For a lot of people that understand this, especially, older generations, it was just, the whole sales tactic was the door-to-door or the phone calls that you would get. Those have turned off so many people. And I say this from having conversations with older generations, that people just kind of don't understand that because it's not intuitive. And so what we're sharing now is for people to understand that you don't have to be the person out here that's spraying and praying, like David shared earlier, like we did at the beginning of our business. And what that means is if it has legs and it walks, talks, and breathes, you're talking to them about your business. In reality, what we have learned through the many years of business and conjunction with where we're moving into more authentic times, where people want people who are authentic within themselves, is to be able to have an authentic conversation between people or with your audience and say, hey, this is what I do. If someone asks, or this is where you're able to point people back towards your website or your business in a box or your, whatever your information, wherever it lives in your, whether it's your social media platform. My point being is it is more, it's more necessary now to have authentic conversations and for people to be okay with them saying, yes, this is what I do, instead of us going through that whole, and I share this from experience, and I share this from personal motives of having to get over my own hurdles of understanding how to approach and have conversations with people. Yes, I'm a very talkative person. Yes, I can have a conversation.
It looks like there's no.
Sorry, ChatGPT is jumping in there with me. I can have a conversation with a wall, but really in the whole nth degree of it is that a lot of us know how to talk, but we don't know how to curate our conversations to where we're not only sharing value, but we're also promoting ourselves through authenticity. So that's what I would add to it,
Yeah.
Mr. Jones.
I love it. I love it.
Well,
Come on, Miss Erica.
hello everyone. I needed to know, I'm a fast decision maker. So tell me how to get signed up with this membership. Tell me about the different tiers. Tell me about what you all are promoting, please.
That is a great question. And what I will do is in this actual chat, if you go to the view details, I will put in the comment section our link to our Biz in a Box, to our Hello Pivot membership that will give you all the details and information about our Pivot membership that you can join in at $7 a month. That's 23 cents a day. That gives you well over 100 videos that you can be able to watch, stop, and drop and do whatever you want to.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll, where we've been able to showcase ways that people can.
What about dropping like a
But you can do that too, girl. You can do that too. Drop likes high, and then we have
we provide fire extinguishers for that.
Yeah. And then we have some upper.
Just be careful not to get burned, baby.
And then we have, some other tiers where you can
That's all I'm
join.
gonna do is back it up. No,
I love it. So yeah, then we have our executive membership at $27 a month. That is everything in the pro. But on top of that, you have 30-minute conversation with David or I or both of us a month for strategy sessions to ask questions, whatever that is, however you want to utilize your time. And then we have our next step up, which is our VIP for $97 a month, and that consists of one 60-minute one-on-one a month, plus doing some things for you. So that's whether you have content requests, if you need help, if you need some social media content created, if you check out our Magic Jewel app that David's going to share with you guys here in a minute. If you need help setting that up or doing and creating content on that, we can help with that. It's doing a little bit more for you. The executive is a little more showing you how to do and holding your hand. The VIP at $97 a month is a little more do it for you. And then we have our gold membership, which is $197 a month, and that is a full holding hand, making sure and doing a lot more for you. That also consists of two 60-minute one-on-ones with us a month. And I'm just going to say this, guys. We are very transparent. You're going to get on a one-on-one with us. Like, for instance, Miss Marilyn was on a one-on-one with us. She's a VIP member. She gets 60 minutes. We ended up spending 3 hours on the phone with her last Friday because we are people that want to make sure you are understanding what you're trying to do, not just, okay, 60 minutes, get off my phone. It is important for us to make sure that you are understanding and you get it, because we get it all day long.
Yeah.
Like we can do it in our sleep, but that doesn't serve you any justice if we just say, all right, 60 minutes, get off my phone.
Yeah.
That's just not how we do things.
Yeah.
And so,
and the bigger thing is that we don't try. We do
that part.
and that's where we really help people, where we can show you, we can teach you, or we can do it for you, just as long as you're willing to press some buttons. And that's what our community is all about, is making the pivot and get it out of your ego, getting out of your stubbornness, getting out of that pride, and being like, hey, it's Q2, going to Q3 2024. What am I doing new in my business? And I understand that if I don't start utilizing some of these AI tools and I start getting back my time, right, then I'm going to be in the world of trouble. Just like with our Pivot members, we share with you guys our Magic Jewel app that literally allows you, or it took for us, and give you an example, Tara was sharing with you guys, I was spending 50, 60 hours a week, 55 hours a week doing our social media every week. Now I've taken that and I've got that down to 6.
That meant no date night.
Yeah. And that meant no date nights. Yeah. And so, we have a tool now that allows us to post on Instagram, our Instagram story, our Facebook group, our YouTube, our Pinterest, our TikTok. And when I say TikTok, not to where it just forwards it to TikTok and you still got to go in TikTok and schedule it. No, it does everything for you. And it goes onto your Google SEO, which a lot of entrepreneurs don't even much have their Google SEO. So just in our $7 membership, we have a video that shows you how to set up your Google SEO, because a lot of the times people are going to go Google your business. Just if you Google the Hello LLC, Houston, Texas, you're going to find a slew of information on us. And you're also going to see our post that we have also that we posted. And a lot of you have to understand your Google is key. And so just being able to do these things and interact with our program and in our community is huge. And so the podcast was one portion of the social media, right? Collaborating with other people. I want to be able to also bring in ChatGPT-4 Omni, and we're going to ask her questions. Instead of you just hearing from Tara and David, we're going to let this learning language model that you all should be implementing and utilizing your business to get over your feelings, to get over your opinions, and let a machine do some of the work, just like Grammar Check, just like Alexa, just like Siri, just like your driving car, just like these robots are about to come out where you can get a robot for $16,000 and this bad boy is going to start doing some of your home chores. And Tesla ain't worried about their recalls on their cars because they about to drop these robots on y'all asses and y'all going to be like, what? Where'd this come from? Remember that movie, I, Robot? You thought that was a game? You thought that was fun and jokes? No, they've been planning this out, which is why we share with you guys, you better get your head out of the sand or you're going to be in a world of trouble. And so with that being said, baby, you have anything you want to add while I get this up and rolling?
Absolutely. First of all, you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to the simple fact of, like you were talking about, you know, Tesla not caring and because of where we are going. We were just having a conversation with your father a month or so ago about the because you know, he's like, man, you know, mowing this yard, and we're like, Papa Jones, there is a robot out there now that you can get off of Amazon that will mow your yard, and we have seen some videos of this thing, and it does a really good job. And so it's just coming down to the simplicities of life of where, look, I don't want people to be scared of AI and robotics and things like that. I know what the movies have pushed to us. I know that, look, I tell David all this all the time. Movies are nothing but pre-programming. It is television. It tells you a vision for a reason. It is programming you what they want you. And they want us to be in fear, because then it allows them to cornerstone the market, allows them to dictate the market, allows them to have the power within what they're creating and keep us in fear. But we cannot live in fear of these things, because when we as society show up and demand that our robots and our AI need to be performing this from companies, and we refuse services from companies because they're not meeting our demands, that is when this is where people don't understand our power in the building. We don't have to be the people who build the AI and build the robotics. But when we demand that it has to meet these, and we have these regulations or these rules around it, or whatever it is that we see as a community, we hold the power. Because let me tell you, a company's goal is to sell you this technology. And if you're not willing to purchase it because you don't trust it, then they're not going to have anything to sell, because they don't have a product that that social or that society wants. And so it comes down to understanding that we cannot live in fear of AI or robotics. We have to utilize them, and we have to have conversations like this as a community. So that way, if there is something that is outside the lines of the rules or the boundaries, we can say, hold up, wait a minute. That is not what we asked for, and that's not what we will allow you to give to us. But because we live in fear, we just shun all of it, and they're going to bring it no matter what. And so we have to shift our thinking to realize that robotics and AI and Web3, the metaverse, all of these things under the whole Web3 encompassing umbrella is ultimately going to give us time freedom. Hello, the most sought after resource that people want is time. They want to have enough money so they can dictate their time, what they do with their time, because all of us much rather be spending time doing things that we love or with people that we love, having fun and enjoying our time, instead of slaving away, working, doing all of this, mumbo jumbo that they keep us in. And it is a system of disease and a system of survival that keeps us there. And so when we understand that we ultimately want time freedom, and technology is going to give us this time freedom, then we start learning to go with the flow instead of working backwards, uphill, 17 miles to school, snowing uphill both ways, our parents used to tell us, So we just have to be very mindful to break the conditioned thinking that we've been taught, and understand that, hey, I don't have to work this hard. I don't have to work 3 jobs and by the way, the average middle-class family now has to have a household income of $150,000 or more to even be considered middle class. I want that to sink in, because that tells you how many people are out there trying to do side hustles on jobs and 17 different jobs, and and they don't have any time to themselves because we are working harder instead of smarter. Back to you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah. And so, look, guys, instead of us talking, we're going to ask ChatGPT-4 some questions about social media, and you guys are going to hear her talk back and forth, which is exactly what Tara was sharing with you guys, is that we don't have to be the ones that need to be the smart people anymore, right? We now can utilize this technology and stop doing what we used to do. Or should I talk to myself?
Yeah.
Anyhow, here we go. Hey, ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing amazing. So we are having a conversation today of stop scrolling, start selling social media strategies that convert. Can you give me a list of 5 tips that could help entrepreneurs and businesses with their social media that they should know now in today's social media and technology that's available?
Sure. Here are 5 tips to help entrepreneurs and businesses with their social media strategies. First, focus on creating engaging and high-quality content. This means using visuals like videos, images, and infographics that capture attention quickly. Second, utilize social media advertising to reach a larger audience. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram offer detailed targeting options to help you reach your ideal customers. Third, interact with your audience regularly. Respond to comments, messages, and mentions to build a community around your brand. Fourth, leverage influencer partnerships. Collaborating with influencers who align with your brand can help you reach a broader audience and build trust. Lastly, analyze your performance metrics. Use tools like Google Analytics and social media insights to track what works and refine your strategy accordingly. How do these tips sound?
That was great. Can you give me a number of how many social media posts that a small to medium-sized business should be producing a day?
For a small to medium-sized business, a good rule of thumb is to aim for 1 to 2 posts per day on major platforms like Facebook and Instagram. On Twitter, you might want to post 3 to 5 times a day due to its fast-paced nature. The key is consistency and quality over quantity. Does that help?
Absolutely. What is your knowledge of TikTok for business?
TikTok is a powerful platform for businesses due to its rapid growth and highly engaged user base. It's great for creating short, engaging videos that can quickly go viral. For businesses, TikTok offers advertising options like in-feed ads, branded hashtag challenges, and branded effects. It's important to focus on creative, authentic content that resonates with the TikTok community. Have you considered using TikTok for your business?
Absolutely. We already have. And so, can you give me some suggestions for weekly content or strategies that a small to medium-sized business should implement into their business for it to convert?
Sure. Here are some weekly content ideas and strategies for TikTok. First, create
Well,
and
hold
share
on,
behind-the-scenes videos.
Hold on.
Show your audience how the...
It doesn't have to be just
Sorry,
TikTok.
I'm having issues right now.
It's
Could
okay.
not understand what you said.
It's okay. You don't have to give me TikTok social media strategies, just in all. What are some good business social media campaigns that people could use for weekly social media post?
Got it. Here are some general social media campaign ideas for businesses to use weekly. First, run a Tip Tuesday campaign where you share helpful tips related to your industry or products. Second, feature a customer spotlight once a week, showcasing testimonials or user-generated content. Third, host weekly giveaways or contests to engage your audience and attract new followers. Fourth, share behind-the-scenes content to give a personal touch and show the human side of your business. Lastly, post Throwback Thursday content to highlight your business's history or past successes. These ideas can help maintain a consistent and engaging social media presence. What do you think?
I love it. I love it. So, any other forward-thinking ideas that you could suggest for entrepreneurs to implement into their social media?
Absolutely. Here are a few forward-thinking ideas. First, leverage augmented reality AR filters and effects. Platforms like Instagram and Snapchat allow you to create custom AR filters that users can interact with. Second, explore live streaming. Host live Q&A sessions, product launches, or behind-the-scenes tours to engage with your audience in real time. Third, focus on creating shoppable posts. Platforms like Instagram and Facebook offer features that allow users to purchase products directly from your posts. Fourth, utilize user-generated content by encouraging customers to share their experiences with your products and feature them on your social media channels. Lastly, incorporate storytelling into your content. Share stories about your brand, employees, or customers to build a deeper connection with your audience. Do any of these ideas stand out to you?
Absolutely. I love that idea. And so, if you could share with me some of the struggles that businesses and entrepreneurs go through with social media posting for their business, and give us some tips and tricks of how those business entrepreneurs can overcome those issues.
Certainly. Here are some common struggles businesses and entrepreneurs face with social media posting, along with tips to overcome them. 1, consistency. Many struggle with consistently posting content. To overcome this, create a content calendar and schedule posts in advance using social media management tools like Buffer or Hootsuite. 2, content creation. Coming up with engaging content can be challenging. To address this, involve your team in brainstorming sessions, repurpose existing content, and keep an eye on industry trends for inspiration. 3, audience engagement. Getting your audience to engage with your posts can be tough. Encourage engagement by asking questions, running polls, and responding promptly to comments and messages. 4, measuring ROI. It can be difficult to measure the return on investment, ROI, of social media efforts. Set clear goals for your social media campaigns and use analytics tools to track key metrics like engagement, clicks, and conversions. 5, staying relevant. Social media algorithms are constantly changing, making it challenging to stay relevant. Stay informed about platform updates and adapt your strategy accordingly. Additionally, experiment with different types of content to see what resonates with your audience. By addressing these challenges with proactive strategies, businesses and entrepreneurs can improve their social media presence and drive better results. How do these tips sound to you?
That was amazing. Thank you so much. Any other ideas or tips or tricks that you want to share with me for social media content for business owners and entrepreneurs?
You're welcome. Here are a few more ideas and tips for social media content. 1, create polls and surveys. Engage your audience by asking for their opinions or feedback through polls and surveys. This not only encourages interaction, but also provides valuable insights into your audience's preferences and interests. 2, share user-generated content. Showcase content created by your customers, such as reviews, testimonials, and photos featuring your product. User-generated content adds authenticity to your brand and encourages others to engage with your business. 3, highlight company culture. Give your audience a glimpse into your company culture by sharing photos and videos of team members, company events, and behind-the-scenes moments. This humanizes your brand and fosters a sense of connection with your audience. 4, educational content. Share informative and educational content related to your industry or niche. This could include how-to guides, tutorials, industry news, and helpful tips that provide value to your audience. 5, partner with influencers. Collaborate with influencers in your industry to reach a wider audience and build credibility for your brand. Choose influencers whose values align with your brand and whose followers match your target demographic. 6, experiment with different formats. Don't be afraid to try out different types of content formats, such as videos, infographics, carousels, and GIFs. Mix up your content to keep your audience engaged and interested. These strategies can help keep your social media content fresh, engaging, and effective. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything else I can assist you with.
Thank you. And so, guys, that right there is just a huge example of how I'm literally giving you guys the game. You can have your own podcast and do it with ChatGPT. Hello. Because a lot of the times people are like, well, what am I going to talk about? Go and ask a damn AI and say, hey, I want to do a podcast. I want to do this, I want to do that, and get to talking. Especially now we've gotten to the age to where there's no more excuses. Like I shared earlier, you don't have to be the best texter. You don't have to be the best typer. If you can think it, you can create it, especially utilizing this AI and technology that is upon us that you have to now adjust to and be able to understand that this AI that some people are talking about, oh, it's gonna be bad. Oh, it's the mark of the mark of the, what do they
The
call
beast.
it? The mark of the beast. Guess what, Lotto Stud? Your damn phone has been the mark of the beast. If you want to talk about mark of the beast, because that damn thing.
Elvis was
everywhere.
the mark of the beast.
I mean, they've always
him
had this
hip
thing.
thrusting back in the day was,
You know,
oh my God.
It's always a scare tactic, and just like they scared everybody ass with crypto and Bitcoin and all this other stuff. They sued it. They now got to regulate it. Now it's a custom worldwide. Now I got a post. I got an email the other day from one of our actual financial advisors back in the past that sent us a message about, hey, invest in crypto. When just 3 years ago, hell, a year ago, 6 months ago, people didn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
They didn't even want to have the conversation.
They didn't
with
want
us.
to have the conversation. Now that the big boys are now saying, hey, let's do it. Now everybody wants to learn about it. And that's exactly what is happening with this metaverse, this Web3 that we continuously have been talking about for the last 3 years, right? We've been talking about AI. I remember this specifically doing a live on AI 8 years ago, telling people, hey, this AI is nothing to play with. Y'all think this is a game, but it's here. And the crazier thing about it is here, but it's not in the way that I originally thought it was going to be, where it was going to take away everything. But if you do your research, this AI is going to create a surplus of 150 million jobs.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not going to take away. And we've shared this multiple times. Anytime anything new has been introduced, the dishwasher, the car, the internet, everybody's fearful of it until it's like, hold on. I can do what? Hell yeah, sign me up. I want my time back. And this is where we're at now, especially utilizing this AI and this technology. You guys embrace this and start learning these things, especially to come up with your social media campaign. I encourage you guys all. Here goes another tip from our Pivot membership, right? A tippy poo. Go to your crusty dusty website. Hopefully you are looking at getting our biz in a box and upgrading from that link tree, whatever you're using. Just copy and paste all that stuff into, your ChatGPT or Gemini. And you go and ask it, give me a weekly social media campaign with 3 to 4 posts a day. Bloop, 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 bloop. It drops everything for you. I just gave you a huge tip. No, I'm just not doing it again. So that right there, my friends, is how you can be able,
like
first of all, the Plinko. First of all, that is how you can stop trying to think about what I can do. And then you keep doing the same things. As she said, switch it up. And that is even more importantly why you guys probably should join our Pivot membership. As I shared with you, we have an app that literally allows me to sit down on a Saturday, on a Sunday. No, it ain't HubSpot. No, it ain't what was that? What's that other one? Repost. It ain't those two. Where literally it combines ChatGPT, Canva, and your scheduler all in one.
It ain't Canva.
And it ain't Canva. And what this allows me to do, like I said, it allows me to schedule and post on my Instagram story, my actual chat, my LinkedIn, my Facebook group, and my YouTube, and my Pinterest, and TikTok, and I'm missing one more, my Google SEO. And so it allows me to do all of those things utilizing this one app, and it works miracles. So if you guys want to know, just join our Pivot membership. You got it. It's yours. And so, this is where we encourage you guys to really start utilizing your mind, right? And getting outside that box to where, oh my God, I got to post on Instagram. I got to take that post to my story. I got to take it over to LinkedIn. Now I got to go over to Facebook. Oh my God, I got a Facebook group. Oh, I got TikTok. Oh my God, I got X Spaces. Oh, I also have a Pinterest. By the time you get finished, you can't be consistent. I know I wasn't, real talk. And so
David's a very consistent person, by the way, guys. I'll just let you know that. Consistency is that man's middle name.
Yeah, that part. And a lot of the times I know we don't all have it, which is why this AI and these apps can help us out, being able to help us with that consistency as we move forward, right? And so, with that being said, does anybody else have any questions? Put it in the chat. We appreciate Sandra Giggles. I sent you, tried to call you up. Miss Renee, Elizabeth, David, welcome. We got Peter over here on our LinkedIn. Welcome, brother. And then so many other people over here on our Twitter, on our X Spaces. We're also on YouTube. So you can hear, we're not just talking about it, we're doing it as well. Thank you, Miss Marcella, Miss Taborn, for liking and loving us on Facebook. Greatly appreciate that. Miss Marilyn over here, Miss Merlin over here, Clark with Mac Leadership Solutions. We just did her grand opening in our Hello Plaza, where she has her virtual storefront to where you guys can literally, here, and I'll put her link up at the top here in a bit, where you literally can go to her actual Biz in a Box, and you can be able to go and look at all of the amazing things that she's doing. And then you can drop into her actual metaverse storefront, where you can learn and see this in a completely different way, to where we share with people this Web3, this metaverse. People are going to be asking you about what metaverse world are you in, not what website. They're dang sure not going to be saying, hey, can I meet you on Zoom, when they see that this metaverse overtakes that Zoom. I just had a call with one of our recent new Biz in a Box clients, and I showed her our metaverse, and she said, what? Why would I still be utilizing Zoom? David, this looks so much better. I'm like, yeah. And I said, we can get into our feelings and into our opinions, but they've already made it known that, it's a 50% increase in engagement when you utilize, the metaverse. And I just did a TikTok and an Instagram on this the other day, where I share with you guys, we just don't talk about feelings and emotions. We share facts. And if I was to come to you and say, hey, you know what? There's going to be this new thing that's out that 25% of people will spend an hour a day on by 2026. Wouldn't you want to know something about that? If I was to tell you, hey, there's going to be this thing that's going to be worth $1.5 trillion by 2030, wouldn't you want to be like somewhere around that?
Yeah.
If I was to share with you, hey, you can get a 70% increase in customer engagement, and this is by Accenture. This ain't Dave and Tara just coming up with facts or stats, right?
Hey, David and Tara, put down a new roof on your house.
From our Hello Plaza. No, this is stats that have already been done. If I could share with you, hey, you can increase your customer loyalty by 60%, and get repeat visits. This is a study by Deloitte. Would you want to pay more attention to that? Especially knowing that the average time that we're getting on these social medias is anywhere from 30 seconds, if that at max.
3 to 7, let's be.
Yeah, 3 to 7 seconds, where you now can have this thing where you get an average of 9 minutes. Would you not want a piece of that? If I was to tell you that, you can get brand visibility that would increase by 40%, who doesn't want a 40% increase in brand visibility? I want 20, hell, give me 10, I'll take it.
That part.
If you sell retail sales, this is JP Morgan saying this, not us, that you can increase your retail sales by 20 to 30%. Would you not be interested in that? If you have your own apparel line, or if you showcase anything that you do that has to do with, materials or products, would you not want any of that? Not only that, for my enterprise companies, right? Training and efficiency. What if you could improve retention by 75%? Let me go to any HR department and say, hey, I can increase your training efficiency by 75%. What do you think they're going to tell me? Let's talk. Not to mention, in the same conversation, hey, your remote collaboration, let's increase that productivity by 30%. Microsoft said that, not David Tara. What would you say? What would you say?
Yes, please.
If you could have a cost reduction in your development of making products by 50%, what would you say?
Definitely.
That's a McKinsey and Company stat. That ain't David Tara. Not to mention time to market. We always got these new products and things of that sort. We know this when we went to go plan out our masterclass, right? You can increase your time to market by 30% in development. That's an essential
That's
stat.
a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. I myself took 500 flights in 4 years for my last C-level job that I worked at. And let me tell you something. If this industry had went to my old job and said, hey, we can decrease your travel costs by 35 to 40%, do you think they're not going to jump on that from sending my ass to
David who?
Yeah. Do you think they're going to think differently? Even if you have your own company, wouldn't you like to decrease your costs expenditures by 35 to 40%? No food, no hotel, no airport, no liability, none of that stuff, right? That'd be amazing.
No car rental.
And if you thinking, we got a funny story on that one. I will get back to that. But do you not think that you want to ignore? Do you not think you want to ignore those types of facts and stats? I know I don't, as an entrepreneur and business owner. And so if you're wondering what industry that is, that's the metaverse. That's the metaverse.
They all went, oh man.
That's the metaverse. Okay, that all those facts and stats are stats.
The metaverse is not just for gaming. It is where businesses realize where the future consumer will be. And so they are getting in there and they are setting up their structure. They're getting everything all taken care of. So when the consumer shows up, because right now it's just their kids off playing out there in the metaverse, and everybody's like, it's just for kids. It's just games. Don't worry about it. And what most people don't realize is that we're not going to be walking around here as you see these Apple Vision Pros with people walking down the street or on a skateboard or whatever it is that they've gotten their Apple Vision Pros on. You ain't going to see that. What you will see, though, is augmented reality, where you have wearables. They already have the Ray-Bans out now, where you're going to be in metaverse, because metaverse will be a part of your life. It will be, as I shared last week, they do not make big jumps and leaps when they move the masses. They move the masses by little baby steps. And so right now you see everybody with the big headset on, the Apple Vision Pros, and you're like, what are these ding dongs doing? I'm never going to be that person. Guess what? When they get rid of your phone and then start having a wearable, like you see an Apple iWatch, why do you think Apple has an iWatch? Because at the end of the day, you're just going to have a bracelet that goes around even if that is some sort of hologram, which is augmented reality. So what I'm trying to share is that they will put you into metaverse without you realizing you're in metaverse. And so this is why we share with people. How many of you know what the bell curve is? We are at the point of, where the first curve up to where we're headed up to the top of the mountain, where the mass adoption happens at the very top of the bell. We are at the beginning of that curve on that upward slope. And a lot of people, what happens is they've heard of it, just like you heard about Bitcoin back in 2000,
just like you heard about Facebook,
2008, 2010. You heard about those, and all of a sudden, Bitcoin now is hovering around 65 to 70,000 any given day, and it used to be $5, $10, $1,000, $5,000. We have to understand that we as people do not like to get uncomfortable if there is not a safety net available for us to be caught, like an insurance or an FDIC with our money or whatever it is. We don't like to go out on a limb. And what happens is That is where the mass adoption sits at the top of that bell, and everybody who's taking the upward side of that bell curve, and they're, getting into metaverse, they're putting their business in there, they're having conversations about it, they're implementing it into their business and their brand now. It will be the people that will be the suppliers to the consumers when they show up. It's like this. The gold rush in California, the richest people that came out of the gold rush were either the people that were giving the resources to the miners. So if you were selling shovels or picks, or if you had, room and board, or if you were the grocery store, if you were the resource to the miners, you were making a killing. And the companies that provided the resources, so the big manufacturers that made the picks and made the shovels and made the mining equipment and made all of this, they are the ones that got rich in the opportunity, and not just the miners, because some miners didn't get it all.
They didn't get the gold.
They didn't get the gold. So we have to understand, be the supplier, which means the supplier has to get there ahead of time and set up. How many of you went to an event? How many of you went to a restaurant and you walk in and they're like, we're not open yet. And you're like, but I just walked in the door. And they're like, yeah, we don't open for another 30 minutes. Why is that? Because they're in there. They just literally walked in themselves, and they got to get the stoves fired up, all the food pulled out and prepped and ready for whatever menu they're serving that day. We all know there's preparation within the supply chain.
Yeah, and a prime example when we talk about,
and metaverse is just a part of the supply chain.
Exactly, right? And prime example, Peter down here. Peter's a recruiter. Peter, imagine you being able to now showcase all of your job openings in a metaverse 3D immersive experience where all of these different people could come in and see these job openings in a different experience. Other than the traditional hit this link, go and figure out this job and all this other stuff, you now can create this 3D immersive environment for people to come and check out. Let alone, you now can take your traditional Zoom calls that you take with people to introduce or find out more about them and say, hey, instead of this Zoom, come and meet me in my metaverse world where we can have the same conversation. I then can even show, all these different job titles, just like Zoom, if not better. No, I know better, right? If you're watching us on live where you can share, you can turn your mic on. Peter, you no longer got to show your face no more if you don't want to. You get to show up in your avatar. Your other person gets to show up in an avatar. And if they want to take their face, if they want to show their video with their face on it, they can as well. And so this is where the metaverse replaces this Zoom, just to make a short, simple example that people want experiences. And I'm here to share with you, even though you're old behind all of us that are older, oh, no, I don't know about that. No, you said the same shit about Facebook. You said the same thing about Instagram. People are still saying the same thing about TikTok, talking about they dance, and they're not. You got spiritual, you got, crypto, you got metaverse, you got all these different silos that people are interested in. And believe it or not, guess what? Half of y'all that are on here are consuming TikTok. Hello. So it blows me away when people say, oh no, I don't post on TikTok. You open up their phone and they're watching TikTok, or they, girl, you on TikTok? You seen that TikTok? Oh, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. We're not talking about you. But anyhow, Peter, just to utilize that as an example for yourself and anybody, this allows you to showcase your business in a completely different way, and it separates you as well. And once again, you all can join the metaverse from your phone, from your laptop, from your iPad. And if people do have these VR headsets, they can join there as well, where it takes us from this flat 2D screen to this 3D dimensional world that showcases us in a completely different way.
What about a virtual job fair?
Yeah, boom. Come on, keep it coming.
And that's what people have to understand, is that you can get into the metaverse right now, by the phone that you hold in your hand, or a laptop, or a tablet, anything that has internet connectivity, you can get in there. And so a lot of times we live in the misunderstanding that we have to have the VR goggles. I'm telling you guys, the VR goggles are not going to be a statement of the future. We are going to live in augmented, where we are going right now. They're bridging the gap utilizing the technology we have right now. So the phones in our hands, the laptops in front of us, the computers in front of us, anything that can get access to the internet and to a web page, you're able to bridge that gap into metaverse. Now, a full immersive experience, yes, that's where the VR headsets come in to play. But we will be past that point here very soon, just because there's already wearables on the market, like the Ray-Bans that and they're just glasses. And so, you could have a virtual job market every month of, whatever open listings or positions you're hiring or looking for, or whatever suits the fancy. Like there's so many ways to do it. It is just whatever is needed. That's the beautiful thing about it, is that what do you need? Then you can curate an environment, a space, and an experience around that. And this allows you, to be able, what if I needed to be location based only? Or what if I needed to be, globally, available, because this is a remote position that, they don't care where they are. Or what if this person needs to be absolutely in Houston, Texas? That is the beauty of being able to market those things. And then what it really comes down to is gamification marketing.
Yeah.
We've been talking about gamified marketing, which is the same thing, gamification, gamified, same concept. We've been talking about that style of marketing for the last 8 years. And I used to share when we would sit in think tanks within our business, when we'd sit with other entrepreneurs and collaborate with other businesses. And I used to sit here and say in these think tanks, you need gamified marketing. Why? Because we literally, like David said, we have 3 to 7 seconds of attention in the department of any social media, traditional social media outlet right now. And what happens is that we're not gaining people's interest and obtaining people's interest. Well, what would do that? An environment or a gamification environment where you get to be rewarded with something for being in that space, or whatever it is, or doing that feature, or checking out that function, or marketing, or video, whatever that the call to action is, there is a reward system with it. Because again, guess what, guys? We live in a world where everything is instant. And you might think, well, that sounds like when all of a sudden the dog can come up to the little treat department and put its paw up in front of the sensor and be like, ooh, a treat, ooh, a treat, like a reward, like do this and you get a reward. Yeah, we're no different. When we drop down to less of an attention span than a goldfish, which by the way is 7 to 8 seconds, it's debatable. Some people talk about, but my point being is when we took that drop down to 3 to 7, we now are a product of our own, whatever you should say. I wouldn't say demise, but, just people being people. So you have to gain their interest is my point of what I'm trying to say. And gamification, gamified marketing is here. And that is what BMW, Gucci, the freaking basketball team that is in here. And I just went blank of who that was. But anyway, Utah Jazz. There's so many companies in here that are DHL. There's so many companies that are in here that are utilizing that method where, for instance, you can come in, test drive a BMW motorcycle that is where you could buy it today, and bada bing, bada boom, you earn some sort of gamification marketing, whether it's a token or you earn every time you take a test drive, a virtual test drive, you earn points or rewards of some sort, and you can turn around and cash it out for apparel or anything within their merch line. So it's things like that. It's kind of like, how many of you, not that I'm promoting this, but how many of you remember the Marlboro packs? And you would cut out the Marlboro points on the bottom of the Marlboro pack, on the side of the Marlboro pack, the cigarettes.
Yeah.
And because the Marlboro man would be wearing, the leather jacket or, the duffel bag.
Mhm.
My dad smoked Marlboros when I was growing up. And I remember cutting those things out and having to mail them in when he was ready.
Coupons. That's gamification.
That's coupons. It's
Joining
literally
people's memberships. That's gamification.
It's the virtual coupon strategy.
Yeah, and that's where we have in our Hello Plaza that you guys that have joined us in our metaverse or watching us live now, when you come into our Hello Plaza, you actually earn a Hello coin. And every coin can get you access to buying, or should I say not buying, but trading out for a content, for a strategy call with us, for any of our services that we have. We have a scale of points you have to earn to be able to get those. So you might not have the money, but if you get, you give us some of your time, you're able to showcase some of our stuff. We have a way that you can earn some of our products and services. And so this is a way that you all should be understanding that these companies are already doing it. And when we said the metaverse, you're like, who cares? Well, Nike cares. Gucci cares.
That was the other person I was thinking of.
Samsung cares. HCBC cares. JP Morgan just put their metaverse in there. I can keep going. BMW, Tara just mentioned. You also have Walmart that just trained 1 million of their employees in metaverse. Because guess what, my friends? Walmart is going to be closing down these stores, just like you see all these restaurants that are closing. Red Lobster is closing down. Cracker Barrel is closing down. A lot of these, Waffle House is closing down, because guess what? People aren't going outside their house. People are ordering food. Some of y'all might be ordering some food right damn now, and you're not going to go sit down. And so this is what we have to understand. The age of technology is shifting the way that we're doing things. And especially when we talk about the metaverse, one of the things that a client was sharing with me earlier, she's like, well, David, I don't know if people are really going to have that experience and have the same conversation. I said, well, as I started this out, we don't talk about facts and feelings, and I get it. You might feel that way, but the studies show that you're going to get a 50% increase in engagement moving away from Zoom to this actual, metaverse. Because how many of you have been on a Zoom call, a meeting, and your ass had to sit there and put this fake ass smile on and just look like a damn a blow up dummy? Or what's the thing that they give you at the baseball games? A little bobblehead.
Oh my God.
You're just sitting there like a damn bobblehead.
Like how many of us remember in 2020 when we were working from home?
Yeah.
I remember, and I would have a manager that would be like, all right, we're going to do a team Zoom. I'm like, oh my God, why?
Turn your camera on. Right? And now you can.
I didn't even smile. I just got to the point where I just looked at him. Like,
yeah. And so this is where we have to get rid of the old and get into the new, to where now you can show up in an avatar. And even more so when people say, oh, I don't know if the experience is going to be the same in person. We're on audio rooms all the time. We're on Instagram and all these social networks all the time. We haven't been in person like that for a while. 70% of businesses are now remote jobs. So I mean, we got to get over this old mentality of how things used to be, especially knowing the fact that the average age of the world is at 30 years old. And so,
like, to be real talk,
yeah.
I was just sitting here thinking about, so I came from an industry that was within the contract in interiors. And so a lot of people was like, well, what's that mean? These big office buildings that you see that are, 30 stories high, and they've got, all full of businesses. Well, I used to work for a company, or in the companies, I should say, in an industry where we provided the interiors for that. So whether we were doing the contractual side of, building out that space, outfitting that space with furniture, decor, all of it, like that entire, everything that was inside of that space, I was within that industry. And so my point being is, we are moving to a point where that industry is I can see is dead, will be dead. Well, what do you mean, Tara? Well, we will be able to work all remotely. When 2020 happened, it pivoted us into a mindset where we can work remotely. Now,
You've
lot
been
of
working
times-
remotely.
a lot of times people don't, the reason why you're not working remotely now, say you were remote for a while and your job brought you back, that is because you have an old school leadership that still believes in,
Get your
I
ass in
have to
office.
see the white of your eyes for you to be productive. Let me tell you something. When when COVID happened, we actually in the company that I worked for had some of the great, those couple of years right there were some of the greatest years in volume of business that we did, because people had the employee that works for that company had a better balance of work and life, and was able to be grown up enough to get their work done and bring business through the door while being able to do their laundry, clean their house, be able to meditate in the middle of the day, go make their own lunch, and not have to sit in traffic for 1 hour, each direction, deal with people in the office that they don't care for because personalities clash. It's just what's so. We all know, that we had more production time. So the reason why people are forced back into the office now is because old school leadership, closed mind, we talk about this, do not own one of the 4 most expensive things in this world that you can own, which is a closed mind, a closed mouth, a closed heart, and a closed hand. What does that mean? Open your mind. Be more open-minded. Be open-minded to possibilities that you never thought could be. But we have such an old school generation that is the most of the leadership style at over 50% of these companies and businesses that will go, no, I need to see someone's butt in the seat. And what happens is because of your forcefulness of how people are dictating, the environment that you must be in, it causes survival mode. It causes you not to be willing to be workable. Workability just goes out the door. And what happens is you become resentful over time because I got to drive an hour each direction. I got to deal with this person, and I could get all of this done at home. We just had a podcast last week with Miss Teresa Carpenter, who has been a she's been in the U.S. Navy for over 28 years, and as a commander for the past, 10 plus years. And as a senior leadership within the U.S. Navy, she talked about this. You can go watch the interview that we did, but she talked about when she gives her team the ability to work from home 2 times a week, she has seen a boost in production, morale, people wanting to stick around in her department and be underneath her under her leadership, because she is very forward progressive thinking in that manner. And most of the commanders are not. And she's rocking the boat by doing this, but she's seeing more production and happier people. And this is one thing that I always stand on a soapbox about, is people don't realize that industries are dead and gone because of virtual experiences, virtual reality, because we will be able to do just like we are now, having a conversation. We don't need to be belly to belly. You can either resonate with the tone of my voice and what I'm saying, or you don't. And whatever works for you, neither hide nor there. It is that you resonate with the information that's being given. And I hear so many times that people talk about, we're never going to go, fully remote, or we're never going to, do this or go in that. Okay. Never say never was what my mama used to always say. Never say never, because the moment you say never, this universe has a funny little sense of humor that goes, whoop, boomerang. All right. Now try that on for size. Did you say never? No, you're going to try this on today. And so we have to be mindful that change is the hardest thing people can do. And as we make a pivot from the traditional social media platforms that we're using right now, guys, guess what? 2 weeks ago, Instagram just made a decision to monetize your eyes. Did you give them permission? Tell me where you gave Instagram permission to monetize your eyes. By the way, you don't get any money off of that. So they're going to make money off of your eyeballs now, but you don't get no money off of it. What do you mean, Tara? Well, couple weeks ago, Instagram came out that said that they're going to start charging creators to post their content and to be their content to be pushed out to people to see it.
Didn't I
What-
tell y'all?
What does that mean?
Didn't I tell y'all a
That
year ago?
means that when Hello LLC wants to push our content out, we're going to have a membership or pay each time, whatever their system of strategy is. You're going to have to pay for that. And then they'll say, okay, we'll push this out to 1,000 people. Oh, you want 5,000? Okay, pay more. We'll push it out to that. By the way, they're making all the money. You don't get a darn dime of that. And it's your eyeballs that they said, let's make some money off. Before that, how many of you got tired of on the social, because we're on the social media conversation, how many of you got tired of always trying to create content, or not trying, you are creating content, but you get 5 likes, you get one, heart here, you get one share there, you're not getting any traction. You've been doing it for 5+ years and you're so tired. It is because of the algorithm. How many of you are tired of dealing with algorithms that censor your content or value or your materials that you're sending out because they don't feel that that's going to meet what the eyeballs, again, monetizing your eyeballs, what they want? Well, we are moving into a Web3 era. We are leaving Web 2. We've already left Web 2. We are opening up the door to Web 3. Web 3 is here. We are moving into a Web3 era where each content creator will own their data. They will be able to monetize their data in a holistic, authentic way. No longer will these be platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. No longer will they censor and gatekeep your information based on what they determine is right or wrong or what people want to see. We are moving out of a time where centralization, where the 5 large companies in the United States own all of the brands that you see in the store. We're moving out of the big capitalistic ways where centralization has kept us all in this rat race of survival. And we're moving into a space of time where it's decentralized. Well, what does that mean, Tara? It sounds like chaos. No, it is not chaos. What it is where the community has transparency, so us as citizens can see the financial ledger. We can see where property is being bought and sold. We can see people, not who is doing it, but it's an open ledger to be able to see these transactions, to be able to see this content that we're putting out on social media. And if I want to go see David Jones at The Hello LLC, I can see his content without having it be censored or mitigated because it doesn't meet the algorithm's, requirements. So we have to understand we're moving into where we take the ownership back, where we as a community get to grow, just like Lady Drew was saying earlier. A lot of people, and I won't even say the LinkedIn part like she said, because it's a lot of people in general.
Yeah.
We don't know how to act as a community because we have been taught for so long to be, let's talk about sports. My brother always loves to have this conversation of, I'm tired of the participation award, environment that we live in, where he goes, when I grew up, and by the way, he's 6 years older than I am, where I grew up, there was a clear winner and a clear loser. And I was like, yes, I understand that. But what that creates is not a sense of community. I'm not saying I'm out here for participation awards for everybody, but what I am out here for is a sense of teamwork and community. And what happened was we got in this sense of competition, and it either had to be me or you. And that is created the society that we live in today, where we are very heavily censored through the centralization of these social media apps, where we're trying to, we try to do what we're supposed to be doing. And I say the word try because it results into losing our consistency. We go back to scrolling because we are not seeing any reward for our effort. And we're back into gamification, marketing, whatever you want to call it.
No, you're so spot on.
Parking my scooter.
I love it, baby. And hey, Miss Denise. Hey, Miss Marilyn. I know Marilyn is in training. Hey, Miss Denise. Hey, Robert. Welcome, Elizabeth. Miss Renee. Peter still in the building. Everybody over here on our Instagram live. Everybody in our Twitch. Everybody in our Spaces. Our LinkedIn live. We're on YouTube live. We're on Facebook live. We're live on Tara's LinkedIn and my LinkedIn. We are everywhere.
We linked up.
We might be at your mama's house.
We are at your mama house.
And
Keep
so-
listening.
And so, you know,
Being like,
It-
oh,
it-
this
it's-
is a Hello LLC today, and they were just getting on that older generation.
but you know, you say something about the competition, right? You say something about how we have been conditioned that you do you, I'ma do me, and let's see who gets to the top. Where really, in all reality, if you look at nature, you look at animals, bees work together, ants work together, right? Lions work together, elephants work together, and we've missed this boat of understanding that collaboration is the new currency. And then even when we look at nature itself, trees and
Plants.
plants and
That's exactly what I was thinking.
all
right
of these things work together, understanding the greater good for them all. And even when we do talk about sports, we didn't make that shit on our own. Football, especially, you got a whole team. Basketball, you got a whole team, right? Golf,
Yeah, but there's a
okay,
lot of people out there just for themselves
yes, and
to
that
be
was
the
the
star of the
to
team.
be the star of the team, not realizing that if we all work together, then hey,
Hello.
this makes better. And yes, you are going to have that. And this is where, coming from, one of those people that used to think that way and not understanding, hey, us as a team are better off than me just by myself. And it's just a switch. And as we share with people, we can help you, but the saving part is up to you. And
We can lead you to water, but we can't make
you drink. And as we started out this room, right, the biggest enemy of success is your comfort zone and you finding reasons not to change, that you don't like change. And 80% of the population is exactly that mentality. And then there's the second, that I cannot change, right? They self-sabotage themselves or come up with reasons why they can't change. And then there's the third one, that they will find the easiest way to get things done without making change.
That part.
And a lot of us, as we started, have to look ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves which one of those three most pertains to us. And that if we do want to make this shift, if we do want success, we have to stop sabotaging ourselves. We have to get uncomfortable and get very uncomfortable, especially at this particular moment. Just like a lot of the times we talk about getting uncomfortable. And then when you do, you're like, damn, why didn't I do that from the jump? Right? And then the passive resistance. Stop trying to be stop trying to be lazy. Stop trying to do it the easiest way and trying to, go through the shortcuts. There is no shortcuts. And a lot of the times you trying to do shortcuts is going to cost you more than just doing the damn work. So many people at the corporate job that I worked at, we used to find ways to cheat the system when hell, just do the damn work, and you did less work than trying to cheat the system and your lack of integrity.
The lie you have to keep up with.
And the lie you got to keep up with. So this is where, and even more so, I think that should be another one, is that a lot of us lie to our damn selves.
Yeah.
We lie to ourselves and lie and utilize that lie as our excuse or our reasons of why we don't do things, because we continue on with the same bullshit lie, right? I'm not good at that. No, and as we shared last week,
the story you run in your head, just like I used to tell, I don't have time.
There's skill and there's will. A lot of people think that they have to have the skill when that will overwork that skill any day, any time of the week.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
And so with that being said, look, I know Miss Marilyn is in training. If you guys have not, those of you that are on our Clubhouse side, you definitely need to go check out Miss Marilyn Holloway's Empowering Minds Biz in a Box. This woman just released, and I was talking about you earlier, Miss Marilyn, about podcasts for your social media strategies of how you are implementing your social media. We showed you in our Pivot VIP how to start your membership. I know we owe you one page that we're going to get to you but she went and pressed some buttons after we showed her how to do it. And guys, she got her podcast up and going within less than 48 hours. And so now Miss Marilyn has her own podcast. Let me remember the name from Crown. Hold on, let me not butcher it. Let me say it the right way the first time. Let me get that. So let me see here.
All right, I'll let David pull that
What
up.
is the name of it?
So
what is
just FYI, Miss Marilyn came to us, guys, and met us in Clubhouse.
Here we go. Her first podcast is Nurturing the Sea of Greatness, a Crayons to Crowns Inspiration is the name of her podcast. Crazy how I forgot it when we collaborated together to come up with that name. So her podcast is Crayons to Crowns, which is an amazing podcast you guys can go and listen to. We're going to add that to her Biz in a Box, so you guys can go and listen to it and be able to, check out. And literally, we sat down in our Pivot membership and we went to just go and have a conversation, put it in ChatGPT, came up with the title, came up with the topic, boom, there we go. We're off to the races. And so this, my friends, is something that I would encourage you guys to really go and take a look at. We got Miss Denise down there. Her Biz in a Box is in rotation right now, getting built out and things of that sort. And if you do have that crusty, dusty website, that crusty, dusty link tree, that 10K thing, I highly encourage you to come and check out our Biz in a Box. That is more than just a static website, definitely more than just one of those link trees. And especially, you need to start showcasing your business and not somebody else's business. It blows my mind when people say, hey, go check out my link tree, and the name of your business is ABC Real Estate, but you telling people to go to Linktree. Is your business Linktree or ABC Real Estate? You let me know. And so this is where we got to separate ourselves. And this is a technical debt. We got money to spend on Louis Vuitton. We got money to spend, on the holidays. Memorial Weekend just went by. How much money did you spend on people coming to your house, drinking up all your food, or your alcohol, and didn't leave you a dime? But yet we say we don't have time to impact our business or to grow our business, or more importantly, invest in our business and not have these technical debts later on down the line where your ass is going to be like Blockbuster because you didn't utilize AI. Because you didn't implement your business into metaverse. And it's not, it's not you going out of business because of business. It's you going out of business because you're not implementing these new technologies and strategies. It's really that simple. There's going to be two types of businesses, one that utilizes AI and metaverse and one that doesn't. So you laughed at Blockbuster. Don't let your ass be Blockbuster because you're stubborn and your ego and your pride is getting in your way. And more importantly, sometimes that might not even much be it. Sometimes, David, I don't know where to damn start. I don't know what to do. Can you help a brother out? Well, that's going to take you opening up your mind, opening up your mouth, opening up your heart. More importantly, open up that hand. Let's invest, right? And stop spending our stuff on stupid stuff. Like Mel Robinson says, stop spending your money on stupid stuff. We got a post on that we did the other day.
Cat rolls up and says,
yeah, no. So with that being said, if nobody else has anything they want to share, Miss Denise, I don't know if you're busy. I invited you up. Love to be able to hear your voice if you're available. Go ahead, Miss Marilyn. What you got, girl?
Oh, well, good evening, everybody. I got a couple seconds. I'm prepping for my training class. I just want to tell everybody, man, I just so excited that to become a part of this space that you and Tora have created, this group. It is definitely an experience for me. I have had fun. I'm having fun doing the podcast. So I'm in training and I love it. It was, the guidance. I told David and Tora one thing and they said, oh, okay, I know what you mean. And they just helped me understand the process. I think the other day I was just texting. I can't figure out how to get it to publish. I can't figure out. I did not have it. I didn't download the app. So I just want to say thank you for that. So much more to come. This is definitely a place if you want to enhance your business and you do not want to be left behind. It's definitely team up, push the buttons, look up Hello LLC and sign up. You can start off with the basic, but you definitely won't be the basic. You will be extra when they get through with you. Thank you, David and Tora.
Girl, I like that marketing, that little slogan you said at the end. I'm gonna have to cut and paste that, girl.
You're gonna be on social media.
You're gonna be on
today.
social media today. But you're so spot on, Miss Marilyn. We appreciate you more than anything, just saying yes and investing and saying, hey, you know what? I don't know how to do this, but I know I want to do it. And you guys can show me, teach me, or do it for me. And even yesterday, Mondays we take off. Sundays and Mondays we take off. Although we'll answer questions, but we are off, and that's our clients know that. But we got to remind them sometimes we're off. But even Miss Marilyn hit me up yesterday and asked a couple questions. I was answering away, right? And that's what most people won't give you. Most people won't be responding back to you, right, Johnny, on the spot, things of that sort, because I understand that, because I was once a lot of you guys where I didn't understand social media and technology and all this stuff the way that I do. And so I had my lovely Tara that would be right there. And I would be upset and mad and frustrated when she was doing other shit and couldn't help me. So I remember how that feels. So that's why I get back with you guys as fast as possible. If I'm not on call or if I'm not available, I'm going to get to you somehow, some shape or fashion. And that's the community that we built. And the great thing about it is that if we can't get to you, we got this whole entire Pivot membership that literally has all these vignettes of videos that you can stop, drop, and roll, as Miss Erica was talking about earlier, that you can go and watch and be able to, get the information that you need, when you need it, and how you need it at the end of the day. And so definitely, you guys all make sure you come and visit and learn more here. I'm going to put the link up at the top for our Pivot membership. I'm just going to put all of our services up at the top for you guys. If you want to learn more about our Biz in the Box, you want to learn more about our actual Hello AI MotionWorks, you want to learn more about our Hello Plaza storefront, where you get your actual business into the metaverse that people can join from their cell phone, from their laptop, from their headsets or their iPad. Miss Marilyn has that as well, as you guys saw or she's getting her actual Hello Plaza storefront here in a bit, because now she's going to be able to say, hey, you don't have to go to Spotify or my Biz in a Box and listen to my actual podcast. Hit that button that says Metaverse Storefront, and you're going to be able to go to her studio and listen to her podcast live in the back, or not even live. She's going to have the recording. And if she so chooses to, she then can pick a date, a Friday, a Saturday, to then be able to say, hey, come and listen to my newest podcast. I'm going to be there. We're going to watch together. And now she has an entire audience that can watch the podcast, that then can ask her questions, be part of the podcast. And now she has a podcast with content on content that she gets to reutilize, redesign for little shorts for her social media, and a completely different experience, just as we're showcasing you guys now on our live stream, to where we're literally doing that right now in our Hello Plaza, to where this is a completely different experience than a crusty dusty Zoom, a crusty dusty Spotify. You're not competing with nobody. It showcases all that you want people to see. And this is where we take your business to the next level.
And most importantly, if you just have questions and you're like, I need some help, I need to understand, I didn't catch that, book a 30-minute discovery call with us and just ask us. That's what the beauty of it, why we created it. So you guys could ask questions. If you're like, you know what, I need to know more about that because I'm intrigued. I think I want to get my business in the metaverse. I understand the bell curve and where I need to be. Book a 30-minute discovery call. Check it out.
Gotcha. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to thank you guys all for joining us today. If nobody else has any questions, please feel free to ask us away, comment, like, share our actual, content. If you see it, if we see you, we'll do the same, vice versa, always. A lot of you probably already got a whole bunch of likes from the Hello LLC. If you guys don't know, it's not David or Tara sending likes, it's the Hello LLC that you'll see pop up for your likes and comments. But other than that,
company.
yeah, who's that? Other than that, you guys know the drill. Come and visit us tomorrow for our Wisdom Wednesday. We're going to be having a great conversation. Don't be a blockhead. Understand crypto and blockchain. Get your questions answered. So those of you that don't know about crypto, don't know about blockchain, don't know about all this new fintech technology that's been talked about and that you've been hearing about that you don't know about, come and join us tomorrow, because that's been something that is going to be huge, especially for those of you that are entrepreneurs. You have to understand that our financial sector is changing and that you're going to have to accept more than just more than just cash dollars, right? We got Jake in here right now in our metaverse, so I don't know who that is. How you doing, Jake? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, this is where we're going to have a great conversation with you guys also. Come and join us, learn more, be more. And Tara is going to be doing a lot more talking tomorrow and bringing you guys the house on that information, because that is definitely her cup of tea. The fintech, the crypto, the blockchain, that's her. And so that's us, but that's more so her expertise. And then definitely come join us for our Hello Pivot on Thursday at 6:30. The future of community, exploring new trends and strategies for your business. And so that's where we're going to be having a conversation on Thursday as well. And so get out of your comfort zone, right? Don't be selling yourself on you can't change, and don't be taking the easy route out and being lazy and doing the least resistant, because that right there, my friends, is the biggest enemy to your success at the end of the day. And that's what we wanted to challenge you guys with today, as we started, to looking yourself in the mirror and asking yourself where you're at with your social media, of understanding you don't have a business if you don't talk about your business. And if nobody knows about your business, then good luck, because right now you got to get yourself out there. So it's 5 o'clock. Hopefully you've posted 1 or 2 social media posts about your business, not about the grandkids, not about what you did this weekend, not about what you're going to do tomorrow, but literally showcasing about your business, a testimony, right? An actual feature of your business, how you help out other businesses, something more than nothing, right? Utilize ChatGPT, join our Pivot membership where you get access to that AI tool that I shared with you guys, but start doing something, and also start that podcast. But we know the drill.
Love,
kindness,
and integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment,
and consistency.
And until next time,
toodles.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Same bat channel. We'll be here.